Hey guys, today I'll be talking about how to prepare the COA. Now, COA is one of the easiest subject to prepare. It's because the pattern of the questions are fixed. Like once you study the pipeline and solve all the previous year GATE questions, what you will see in is that the questions tend to repeat itself with just a slight modification, right? So it's not very hard to uh, come up with the solution or the new ideas because the questions are very much based on the previous year questions itself. And also one of the things is that when you will solve the COA question, you will get to know how the system works internally. Like if you are trying to solve the questions related to the arithmetic operations, like you studied the Booth's multiplication, right? Restoring and non-restoring division, then you will understand how much efforts does the computer need to perform the operation. You will understand why some operations are cheaper and while some are the expensive to perform, right? So these are the very minor details, but once you get to know them, you will love them because then you will actually understand how things are working internally, right? Even though it's not like that you will get the very updated knowledge, but you will be in a good shape that whenever the new thing in pipelining will be made in the current year, then you will have something to relate to, right? It's not that you are studying pretty old architecture. See, one thing is that before the year 2000, most of the time and power and money were devoted in developing the CPU hardware and the good algorithms, right? Before 2000, around 2000, what happened is that internet came, and then most of the logic and most of the time technology were used in advancement of the internet. So it's not like that if you are studying the old things, then those are outdated, because even though the algorithms were developed in 1970s 1950s, they are still used today. Similar, this is also case with the COA. So you will thoroughly enjoy because you will get to know how it's happening. Now let's talk about the weightage that matters the most to us, right? The weightage in GATE is around 10 to 11%, and the most of the questions will be easy. There is very less chance that they will ask some trickier question. Now the books to follow is the Carl Hamacher for computer organization, which I had followed personally. Now it's okay if you follow some other book, no issues there. But Carl Hamacher is one of the book which I personally found very much overlapping with the GATE syllabus. And also keep one thing in mind while reading the Carl Hamacher, you don't have to read all the things. Just go to the GATE syllabus, read which are the topics in their COA, go to the Carl Hamacher, just read those topics which are required and necessary. You don't have to read each and everything, right? Because it's not that much needed, what I had seen in multiple test series and GATE itself. After that, in online resources, the Gatebook video lectures is one of the best resource, I would say. I haven't watched COA videos on other channel, but the Gatebook video lectures of Kiran sir were very helpful. Now coming to the topics, the first one is the instruction and addressing modes. Now this is one of the easiest topic because what happened is that here just few minor calculations are involved for calculating the answer, and it's very simple. Once you solve two or three question, you will get to know how to solve the question, and it won't be a much difficult job for you to solve them next time. Now here the few subtopics are like addressing modes or the how the machine instructions are written. These are the things, and those are pretty much easier. Believe me, once you solve two or three questions, you will understand them. The next part is the ALU and control unit. Now in ALU, the important things are Booth's multiplication, restoring and non-restoring divisions, right? And even though the questions on restoring and non-restoring divisions are not being asked, but I would say just go through them once, this concept, and it's definitely something worth to read. After that, in control unit, we will be having the hardwired control unit and micro programmed control unit. But remember one thing, the question related to hardwired, micro hardwired control unit and micro program control unit are not been asked very much frequently in last few years, so keep that thing in mind, right? And now we are having the pipelining. Now pipelining is something which is been asked very much frequently, right, in the uh, gate year last gate previous year questions, and it's something which is very easy to understand and very easy to answer the questions, right? So as long as you are not making any silly mistake, you will be in good position to answer those questions. So please do pipelining very well, because chances are pretty high that there will be some question from the pipelining. Now comes to the it comes to the memory. Now memory is something which is the most important part of the COA, because here you will be learning about how to address the cache itself, how the data is been stored in the cache, how memory is been divided amongst the blocks, right? So it is the important topic from the subject's perspective also, and from marks perspective also, because there are always many questions regarding the mapping, right? Direct mapping, associative, set associative mapping. The question might be very simple, just they will be asking about how many bits will be needed for tag and all, or the how what should be the size of the cache memory, etc, etc, right? So these are the very few very easy question, and very much important in order to get a good rank, right? Because you can't afford to miss them, because each and everyone is gonna solve them, so you should also solve them, right? So please keep that thing in mind. Even though the questions in memory sometimes might be pretty large, but believe me, uh, the more the question looks strong and big, the more it's easier to solve, because in such a cases each and every minor detail is given to you to solve the question. So whenever you see big question, be happy, because all the minor details will be provided and you won't have to think about them, right? So don't get afraid by seeing the large questions. It's fine, because those will provide you a good minor details and you will be able to solve them. Now there comes the IO part. IO is something which you need to solve very thoroughly, right? The operations are the disk operations, seek time, right? These are the things, and also the DMA things, the burst mode, and all the types of modes of a DMA, how much time the CPU will be busy, or how much time of the CPU will get wasted. So these are the some of the things. Now IO is something which you need to be very aware about while solving the question, because it's very what I should say, it's very intuitive, means you should have a good intuition what will happen logically, like a common sense, right? So with a good practice, whenever you are solving the gate previous year question, try to solve them. And if you are not able to come up with the right answer, still try for few more, still try for some more time. Because like if I even I was solving, when I used to solve the IO question, I was not able to get them right in the first attempt, like many of the questions. So what I used to do is that if I am not able to get them, I will try till 30 minutes, 1 hour, and if even after that if I am not able to get the answer, then I will see the solution. See, when you are seeing the solution and after reading the solution, you are like, oh, no, I were pretty close to it. So believe me, then you were capable enough to solve that question, and you did mistake by giving up early, right? Because what happens is that as you spend more time with the question, the new connections will be get built in your brain, right? Of course, the new neuron connection will get built, will will be builded in your brain. So next time whenever you are coming across such a question, you will be quickly able to relate it, because if you have tried harder for something, then chances are pretty high that you will retain it for the longer time. So it will become easier for you to answer the question once you have tried that question on your own. So please keep this thing in mind. And the one advice would be, it is very easy subject to answer, because most of the time the questions will be repeated, there won't be much of a variation. Even if the question becomes looks like a new, believe me, there will be a just a slight little twist and turn. Apart from that, it will be something which you had learned and solved in the question, and you know the concept. So please keep working hard, and COA is one of the things which you should not miss, right? So I'll end here and keep working hard. It might be happen that sometimes the days are frustrating, but we need to continue, right? Don't give up. Bye guys.